Okay, well, welcome everybody. I'm excited. This is kind of different. I haven't done this before. So I'm proud to say this is my first interview with someone else. And I have a special guest, Matt, here. This is my husband, Matt, runs the team with me. And then we have Joie and Alex Lee with us today, which I'm so excited because we just had our convention and they were like top in everything. I'll go through that a little bit more, but that's why they're here today, to tell us a little bit more about their journey, how they made it to the top, what they've done to get there. But I just wanted to paint a picture because most of the things we do here are like business development and especially network marketing. So when I send out, any video that you've been watching, if you've been watching before, if this is your first video, great, welcome. But generally we're giving tips for the average MLM or someone that just wants to get started, someone that wants to grow their business. And we've shared all sorts of tips, but this is one you're not going to want to miss. You're going to want to tune in because there is nobody better to share their journey of how they went from zero to
hero.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Zero to hero in a very short period of time using a very specific strategy. So we're going to go through that. But first, let me just give a better introduction. So I'm Trisha Deming.
I'm Matt Deming.
This is Matt Deming, my husband. We've been in the network marketing space for over 8 years and just love what it's done for us financially, but also emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's changed our lives in many, many ways. So grateful to be here. I know Joie and Alex could say the same. So now I'm going to turn it to introduce Joie and Alex. We've got Alex here. Joie, they live in Michigan. I know that they live in Michigan. They are fur parents, fur babies. They are a child-free family. They've invested in pets and love their pets. I'll let you maybe talk about your dogs and cats. So they just recently, as I said, we had our convention where they just swept many of the awards. They took home the most prestigious awards, one being the Founders Trip, which only 7 were qualified to earn. It's the top trip of the year. You get to go with the founder and CEO, his wife, and several of the staff of our company to an exotic resort in Cabo at LeBlanc. It's the reason I know, right? So excited.
So excited.
So exciting. Like 1 of 7. I think they actually, because there was a tie, 8 ended up going, or maybe even 9, because there was like a three-way tie. So it ended up being a few more got to go, but it's so exclusive. Out of everybody in the entire company, they earned this trip. They also took home top in PV, so top in sales for the entire company at our convention. This was just last month in July. We're in August, depending on when you're watching this. So just within the last couple of weeks, this has happened. So top in new sales for the company, top in sales for the company. They took home the Cabo trip. They took home a 100K award, which is actually, they've sold over 200,000 in products in a given year. So 200,000, that's like mind boggling. And
I know my cheeks still hurt from all the smiling.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So the award they have is 100K plus, but they actually did 200K. And how many people were in that category that sold at least 100,000 or more? There was just 3 of you. Is that right? Or
there's just 3 of us.
I'm pretty sure there was just 3 of us
in the entire company. And then they also took home another prestigious award that just blows my mind as well, that they took home the 20K award, which is they had an income month of 20,000 or more in the recognition year. So that's, again, only 3 people were in that group and they were one of the 3. So
yeah, it was in a single month. We did 20,000
in a single month. So this is someone that, network marketing, you can hear people say, "God, you invest." It's one of our myth busters we've talked about. You invest more than you make. Like, that is a myth. You can make crazy amounts of money in this business, and they're proving it. 20,000. What would you do with 20,000 in 1 month? Right? Pretty.
That's right.
Exciting. So
I think of a lot of things.
Yeah. So they are just killing it. We're so happy to have them here. So Joie and Alex, I'll let you take it away. Maybe just give it another little introduction about yourself, and then we're going to dive right into the questions. So anything I missed about the pets and so forth, what you do.
Yeah. So we've actually been a part of Pottery for over 5 years now. And I started off really slow. I was definitely not the go-getter, crazy stuff right out of the gate. I was very slow.
We're a 5-year overnight success.
Yeah.
I think it's the best way to kind of put it is,
or maybe 4.
5-year overnight success.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we definitely knew that this was a really great path. Like, I had seen other people in network marketing have success, and I knew that at some point, as long as I stuck with it, I could make this work for us. And I've been a work from home dog mom for over 2 years now. Alex jumped in about 4 years ago and we've been doing the business together since then. And it's just really been truly life-changing for us. It went from something that was just a little side hustle thing to now it completely pays all of our bills.
Yeah, and then some. So, which, like Joey said, we've been in for quite a few years, and it did take us a little bit of time to kind of build some momentum. And I think we just kind of had to find like what worked for us. Like that's the thing with network marketing. There's a lot of ways to do it. There's vendor events, there's referrals, there's face-to-face, you can do meetings. Well, we kind of wanted to find something that worked well for us. So we started pushing and pioneering social media within our whole company. There's only, I would say, a few of us that were really working social media in that sense. And
our dogs and cats are definitely our spokespeople. We've got two dogs and 3 cats.
I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yes, 2 dogs, 2 cats, couple fish.
This is good. This is good because these are some of the questions we had anyway. So I know that we were going to eventually ask some of these. So this is great. This is great.
And let's not forget the deer and the eagles out back too.
Yes.
Yes. And the squirrels and the chipmunks and bunnies.
So true.
Lots of furry friends.
Okay. So some of the questions you've already asked, I have a whole list of here. I asked one, like, when did you really start working this full time? You said about 2 years ago, you were able to retire your other full-time job. Quit that.
Yeah, I was working my 9 to 5. I'd had that job for like 15 years and I just didn't really feel my passion. I always knew I wanted something to do with pets. And so as I was able to work the pottery business to kind of get more and more of that income, like not only was it the income, but the personal development that it took for me to actually leave the comfort of a job that I had had for 15 years to go, okay, I'm just going to work at home. Like that was scary for me. Even though it was exactly what I wanted, it was absolutely terrifying. But I'm so glad that I made the leap and just kind of went for it because it's completely changed their life.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you made that leap. Excuse me. You made that leap before like COVID and shutdowns and everything. She had made that leap months prior.
Yeah.
Because 2 years ago was really when COVID hit. So it is kind of interesting to see like, hey, you decided to make that change and how much better off you were because of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was on mute. We've got some loud background noise here, so I apologize if that's making its way into the video, but so great. What a great blessing, right? And what were you going to say? You were going to add something about it.
When you mentioned about the courage it took to make that move, Joey, I said, yeah, that's a big move. That's not an easy jump to make for a lot of people because, a 9-to-5er with benefits and,
consistent income and
purity
is a big safety net. It's a warm blanket for a lot of people. And so congratulations to both of you for making that step and making that transition into now doing this full time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot and it's not easy. So as you indicated, so yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So now knowing that your job, what before was like 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, what would you say your hours are now? I kind of know what they are, but I want the audience to hear because it's definitely different. It's not 9 to 5. It's not 9 to 5.
Yeah. Well, Alex has his own business, so his is a little bit different, but for mine, for working kind of the full-time life, we really have been able to set our own schedule, which is one thing that I really love. Alex and I, that was something I really wanted, was the flexibility and freedom to have control over our own time. So whether that's the weekend or doing other things. So we've really set it up that just a day of routine kind of thing, but getting up, getting out into the gym and kind of working almost like a 11 to 5 kind of a thing, with taking breaks to snuggle with the dogs in the back deck if I wanted to, or have lunch, or if I wanted to go and meet someone like one of my sisters for lunch. I have that freedom and flexibility to go and get my hair done at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Like that's, and so, the nice thing is while I'm sitting there under the dryer, I can be working. So even though I might not be sitting at my desk, there's still things that I can do to help coach my team, to be talking with people and helping other pets.
Which I love too. And I know that you've even been traveling a ton, like you take your business with and you travel. So Alex, you can speak to that too. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just know it's made such a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So like, I know we talk about working from home, and there's a lot of people that now work from home, but they don't have the level of freedom that we've created. And it's really all, because we can work from our phones. So anywhere, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, we're good. We can get some work done. We can do that in Mexico, which we will in a few weeks. When we go on the founders trip, or when we're on vacation in Colorado, you name it, like, hey, we can work as long as we have a Wi-Fi connection. And with our social media strategy, we have content working for us 24/7.
That's one of the things I didn't mention is like consistently every month you're, as far as our team is concerned, top in sales and top in new sales. Like, so this is still working for you all the time. As you said, like whether you're sleeping, whether you're awake. I know we were on a trip with you just a few weeks ago in Alaska, and same thing, you were getting sales rolling in. You enrolled some new team members while we were there too. I'm pretty sure, at least shortly after, someone that you met on the cruise. So you guys are just so great at living the business every day that that you're here. So anything that you wanted to add or anything about the trip?
No, just that I completely agree with what you said, Alex. A lot of people, are still requesting PTO,
Yeah.
asking someone for permission to take that time. And, it is a benefit, a blessing, whatever you want to call it, to be able to work when you want, where you want, on your terms. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, there's been so many times where that's actually came up. Like this last weekend, we took a spontaneous trip it was like a last minute trip to Salt Lake City. And it wasn't, okay, can I get the Thursday or the Friday and the Saturday off so that we can go? It was just buy the plane tickets and we're going. Like there wasn't a second guess, or even, hey, we have a week-long vacation that we just found out about last week, and it's in 6 weeks. There's a lot of people who might not be able to go because they had planned family trips. Well, they just won this trip and it's a week long. Like you only have so much PTO. So it's nice that we can just be like, yep, we're going.
Good.
We don't have to ask anybody for the days off anymore.
Yep.
It's great.
Totally. But even financially, because financially being able to buy 2 tickets round trip from Michigan to Salt Lake last minute with just a couple days notice, just the fact that you could do that and be like, wasn't really an issue. We just were able to buy the tickets. So great. So rewarding. So Matt, do you want to ask the next question?
So we touched on this briefly during the introductions and in talking about the awards you won at PawFest, which is the name of our convention. But talk to us a little bit about what your best month was in terms of income.
That would have been February of 2022. So this last February was our best income month, and kind of diving into a little bit of our strategy, because I think that will help make sense of all this. So Joey and I have been really pushing social media, figuring out how to market our products and our company and market ourselves using social media. And since we kind of were the pioneers of that, I'm going to go ahead and say that we were the pioneers pushing for that. There's a lot of things we need to learn along the way. Well, last year in April, I had my first video on TikTok go viral, like really viral, millions of views. And that was like the kind of point that really solidified that, like, yes, we are doing the right things.
We are bought in. We are doing this.
Yeah, we're bought in. Like, we can do this, and like we can have success at it. And like originally, like I didn't think my content was going to be the one to go viral at all. Like I thought for sure, I was like, oh, it's going to be Joey's. She's cuter. She's got better energy, like, and more relatable. But ended up being mine. So that was kind of cool. But during that whole time, I know Joey and I had been consistently posting on TikTok. We just chose one platform to really get started with. And so we were started with TikTok and we're pushing hard. And Joey wasn't really having a whole lot of success with that. So kind of fast forward now, we've been consistent, both of us, on social media or on TikTok. And then February rolled around and Joe ended up having a video go viral.
Yep.
So I recreated it similar, but a little bit different. And she had that, and then my video started going viral. So we had 2 videos going viral at the same time, racking up hundreds of thousands and then eventually millions of views. Mm-hmm. And that was in February at the beginning of the month. And we really, during that year, from the first time we went viral to the second time, like we had other videos go viral, but nothing like those two moments. And we'd been developing systems and working on
to really be able to capitalize on all of the momentum that was coming in. And so it was nice to be able to capture a lot more of those leads and not have to work as hard. And so it was just really the systems that really benefited us.
Yeah, because we didn't have the systems in place the first time we went viral. We were like figuring it out, like throwing
Yes.
this up, throwing that, like trying to figure out what was working. So the second time we
No.
had system, and it just, I mean, our conversions were higher, and we ended up doing I know it was over $60,000 in total sales that month.
In
And
a,
then
in a
that
month
was-
that only has, that's shorter, you know, it has
That has
3
28 days.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
typically a like, you know, one
Worst
of the worst months for
Yeah.
every company
Everything.
across the board, every
Yeah.
business across the board.
Yeah.
And we
Blew
had
it out.
our highest month ever,
Yeah.
and then did it again in March.
And what
Which-
did that do? What did that do for you in terms of your income?
That was the month that we made over 20,000.
In one month.
Yeah, we did over 20,000 in a single month.
Yeah.
Which, to put that in perspective, the top people in our companies, that's, you know, hadn't even really quite done that yet, right? That was your first month doing 20,000.
Yep, it was.
So
Yep.
yeah.
We were always
So-
on the cusp. We were like right there, and then you guys
That-
blew it up. You made it. So
Yeah.
Just across the
Yeah.
line.
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, the reason I'm not afraid to talk about the income is because we're verified. We got awards,
Totally.
so we might as well
That's right.
talk about it.
Yeah, we're the
That's right.
same.
So-
We're the same. I'm like, I have a 1099 to prove it, you know?
That's worth
Yeah.
noting, that
Yeah.
this isn't us pulling numbers out of thin air. This is
This is real
legitimate,
life. Yeah.
verified, documented numbers that have been paid, that have been deposited,
Yeah.
that, you know, and the magic of it all is that it's residual. Not everyone's
Mhm.
going to, you know, buy a product on an easy ship or in a recurring fashion, but you know, these are consumables and
Mhm.
the income is residual. So,
Yeah.
you know, there's a very real possibility of continuing to earn this kind of money month after month after month and
Mhm.
see it go up.
Instead of
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I love too is that we don't have a really huge team by any means. Like we did that with sales. So
Yeah.
it's not like we're, you know, had a huge team underneath us that help. Like we do have a team underneath us, but that 20K mostly came from just us doing sales. So I know some people are like, well, I don't know if I want to build a team. You don't really have to. The
Yeah.
nice thing with this business is you can do it with sales and the power of social media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that too.
One more benefit, you do you,
Yeah. Show up like how you want to do.
and you can get the results.
The one thing I did want to highlight too, though, that you touched on in the beginning was your work didn't change because you have these great, amazing systems in place. That it didn't mean that you had to work harder to get that 20K. You didn't do anything different. You were doing what you already do all the time, right? You were just being consistent. And that's what we
Great
teach.
point.
There's been a lot of things that we've taught in other videos I've posted that really it's about being consistent. And I've loved, there's a quote that comes from Atomic Habits, and he says, James Clear, Atomic Habits, and he says, you have to fall in love with boredom. That's what sets apart one person versus another. That you probably were pulling your hair out at times. Like, I am so tired of posting things that are not doing anything. It's making me crazy. You didn't go and post 1,000 videos that day. You did the same thing that you do every single day. And I just admire that so much. And I want everyone to hear that it wasn't that you started working 80 hours a week. You stuck with the same schedule, did the same things, and that's what you continue to do now. So I love that duplication, that others can do this too. You know, you don't have to work 90 hours a week to make magic happen, and you don't have to have a massive team to make magic happen. So thanks for having
Exactly.
What I love about it, like, you know, our whole story in general is we kind of broke every stereotype in the network marketing. We didn't have a large team. We didn't have a large following. Like we've built the following since we've been in network marketing. And like we're just kind of normal people that have just stayed consistent and been pushing. And I just love the fact that we were able to have an income like that, and an income like we do, just based purely on sales. Now, I will say recruiting in network marketing is a huge part of the business, and don't want to ignore that. But for somebody that maybe is listening and is like, hey, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if I want to build a team. Can I make money at this? Like, yes, like with the right company and the right comp plan, you most definitely can make very good money with just selling product alone.
Yeah, really
Love that.
focusing on the sales part of side things.
Yeah, highlighting the, product alone, you can do that depending on the company and the comp plan. That was a good like asterisk, make sure you know what you're getting into, read the comp plan and understand. Because some
Yeah, 'cause
aren't
there's
driven that way.
some that-
Some you have to build a team, right? You have to, and ours
Yeah.
very much heavily rewards on product sales. So yeah.
Regardless,
I feel like we have like both if you,
Yeah.
I think having a well-balanced business is important, but
Yeah.
if you don't, it's not the end of the world either.
regardless, though, I think the key that you touched upon, Alex, is consistency. Whether you're building a team, whether you're pushing volume, whether you've adopted a social media strategy, fill in the blank, whatever the approach, the key to all of that really is consistency.
Yeah.
Keeping at it, not giving up.
And that was one of
Yeah.
our next questions is like, what's your secret sauce? Like, I kind of feel like that's part of it, but if there's anything you want to elaborate on, what's the secret sauce to make it to the top? And the second part to that is what does it feel like? So start with is there anything else you would add to like, what's the secret sauce? And then what did it feel like at Pop Fest this last year to, get
Being
beat
up on stage being
every
recognized
time,
and awarded for everything.
Yeah, we want to hear more about that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, like Matt was talking about consistency. So I actually think there's like two sides to consistency. So there's consistency and then there's intensity. So when like we will go in these months of, hey, we're going to buckle down. We're going to be posting consistently, not only more consistently, but more intensely. So like, instead of just posting once every couple of days, hey, we'll start posting 2 to 3 times a day and really just be producing content, focusing on that and set like a specific time, maybe 60 days or 90 days, and just stay consistent with that intensity for that 90 days. And then like every time we've done that, we've seen massive success.
Yeah.
And then we like to say we like to live our life off leash. So we'll back down that intensity some, and then I don't want to say ride the wave, but just back down the intensity some, so we can take a moment, enjoy what we've just done, and then it helps that backing it down really helps kind of energize us for the next big push.
Yeah. And I would say that one of the other things to our secret sauce is we're just very determined and pretty competitive people. But we've also both have been around entrepreneurs our entire lives. And so we just have picked up on a lot of those types of things. And so like getting yourself around other people who think like an entrepreneur and just kind of they're willing to try some things and get their hands dirty. And not being scared to fail. I mean, there's a lot of videos that, it didn't do well.
I've had some pretty bad hot takes. I'm not gonna lie. So,
but we were just, we were professional failures, basically. It's like we just kind of figured things out along the way. And that's kind of what I would say is a little bit different about us is we're scared to try things and we aren't scared to fail because we know that that's just part of the process.
Love it.
I love
And
that.
then yeah. And then I would say being up on stage, it's what we've really wanted. There was so many conferences that we were sitting in the back of the room and just being upset that we were not up on stage. And we really use that determination to be like, we are getting up there. We deserve to be up there. And so once we were finally up there, we're just like, woo!
yeah, let's go.
Love it.
And you did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
I mean, it's still mind blowing to think like we're top in sales in a network marketing company. Like, I mean, there's people in this industry that they hit that within their company, and like I look up to them, and I'm like, oh wait, we're one of them.
Yeah. You like follow
That's
them. I
you.
know there's one in particular you follow. You've been coached by him and everything, and now you're like, hey, look at us
That's us.
now. We're here.
Yeah.
So cool. Oh, it's really exciting. It's exciting for us too to watch that because again, I don't know anybody that's been as consistent as you at posting, and there's many times it would have been easier to quit, easier to be like, this just isn't working. This is not working and we're done, but that determination is what got you through. I think that is a huge part of the secret sauce as well, is just being crazy determined and not letting some of the obstacles get in your way.
That's one thing that's been fun for. I was just going to add, that's one thing that's been super fun from our perspective is watching that intensity, that consistency, that determination,
Mhm.
you know, and seeing you go from where you were to where you are. It's been an amazing journey, an amazing transformation. And it's all due to exactly what you touched upon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Anything
I
else?
just want to add one thing on that though, is so for somebody that's like, hey, I want to get started growing my business on social media, really start with the end in mind. So if the end is, hey, your end goal is to sell product or maybe recruit, start with that in mind. So then you're making content that that will drive people to purchase or to join your team. It's not about, hey, just posting content because you saw a funny video and you want to recreate that funny video. I'm not saying you can't do those videos. We most definitely do,
Yeah.
but also be generating content that that is going to market for you and help sell products and or sell yourself.
So I'm curious, that leads me to another question I'd like to ask. And, you know, there's a lot of talk out there about starting with why. Why are you guys doing this? Why did you guys decide to join? What caused you to jump in with both feet and begin this crazy, wild, successful journey?
Well, for me, I've always had a big passion for pets. When I was really young, my dad got into a really bad accident and I was left home alone a lot because my mom was at the hospital and my two older sisters one was in college and the other was a senior in high school. So there's just a lot of times where after school and things, I was home alone a lot. And we had a couple of cats and I just really needed that company. And so I would start to bring the cat. They were outdoor cats for sure. We never had pets in the house, but I started bringing them into the house so I could play with them and kind of have that company. And so they were really there for me. And that really stuck with me to now being, you know, throughout life, just being like, I want to be there for my pets because they are there for us so many times when we need them and they just really deserve the best. And so I had gone through school, never really was smart enough to do much of the normal vet tech or a veterinarian kind of thing. And so when I found this, I was like, this is my way that I can follow my passion of helping pets and just be able to do that and make sure that they have their best life because we put so much into them and they give us so much back. It's like they deserve the best.
Yeah. So Joey has a clear passion for pets. And I mean, as do I. Like, you know, when I was growing up, I was an only child, had two parents that both worked. And I had a dog all the way from first grade till I graduated high school. So that was my buddy. But I also I have such a strong passion for entrepreneurship because I had different entrepreneurs in my family. Like my grandpa had a few different businesses, and I think just from a very young age, like I just recognized that entrepreneurship was going to provide a level of like financial gain, but and freedom that you just can't get elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean to be your own boss, not have to ask permission before you leave work early or go on vacation or do something. Like, yes, like you have to have the right systems in place in order to leave your business or else it will fall apart.
Right.
But just being your own boss and like for me, I just knew that it was going to provide a level of freedom that couldn't get anywhere else. And then
because we've done the traditional like brick and mortar type of businesses and you just don't get you're not able to live life off leash as well.
Yeah, you're still tied down. So when you really think about, when I really was thinking about like a network marketing company and stuff, I was like, this really makes sense that, hey, we're essentially partnering with a company that has great products. People want these products.
They're consumables.
Yeah, they're consumable. And then you that company is handling the fulfillment of those products. So it's not like, hey, we got to order all these things and then
we need to get a warehouse and where do we put it and
inventory, all that.
Yeah. So it's really kind of similar to franchising. And the best part about it is you can do it all from our phones.
And the cost to join a franchise can be, anywhere from 15,000 to 500,000, right? And you can do this for, ours is $29.99 up to 400. Like, oh man, that's kind of a no-brainer. So that's amazing. Amazing. I think you guys make a dynamic duo, right? Such a dynamic duo.
Oh, thank you.
So we have two more questions. One is, and sorry, again, the background noise, we're at our vacation home. So there's lots of kids running around and we're having a
Hey,
party.
you're living life off leash. It's great.
That's right.
I'm like,
That's right.
exactly what you're talking about. We are working from anywhere. So here we are working from a vacation home, enjoying the last few weeks of summer. So one question is, where do you guys see yourself in pottery? This was one of Matt's questions, which I thought was so good. So maybe I should have you ask it, is where do you see yourselves? Is that
Yeah.
getting it?
So,
Yeah, I'll give it back.
well, I want to ask it the way that I thought of it,
Yeah.
but it is, what do you see? So I love what you said about your, let me preface what I'm going to ask by saying that I love what you said about your why, because I would add that I think that's also part of your secret sauce, having that clear why and knowing exactly why you're doing this, which is something that will propel you through those lulls and difficult times.
Mhm.
But now that you are where you are, now that you've come this far and experienced what you have and have become as successful as you are, what do you see? What's next? What do you see in your future with pottery?
Definitely duplicating down to our team. So that's one thing that we've really been working on over the last year and a half is the things that have been working for us, we're duplicating down to our teams. Because I'm very much a yellow personality where I love to help people. And I really want to be able to teach everybody what we've done and have them be able to do the same thing. But I know we are very grateful where we're at, but we definitely want more because there's more things that we want to be able to do in our life.
Yeah, and I really actually think this is just the start of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I would totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and even the first time we went viral, I remember we were talking with you, Tricia, and I was like, no, like this is nothing. Like we can do more. Like
We can do so much more.
Yeah, like these sales like are great, but I know we can do even more. And then fast forward, it wasn't even a full year. Look at how much things had changed. And
I have to say, just to say really quick, I think that's, again, a reflection of who you surround yourself with. Joey, you touched on that who you surround yourself with. You were surrounding yourself, Alex, with people, and Joey, both of you, that had been doing this, selling hundreds of thousands in a month or 50,000 in a month. And you're like, I know it's possible. Nobody in pottery is doing this. I know this is possible. So again, just allowing your vision to expand beyond what is, breaking those barriers. Like you said, you've been a pioneer in all of this, breaking these barriers, because I attribute it to who you spend your time with, who you listen to, who you follow, and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't think people realize the impact that people have around you. Even if you can just start listening to some different podcasts, audiobooks, and in my mind, that's surrounding yourself with different people. Now, if you want to go further, get coaching or become a part of a network marketing company where we have a bunch of like-minded individuals, the possibilities are endless. But to kind of just circle back to Matt's question, one thing that Joey and I have talked about since my first corporate event, which was
Legacy of
17, so going on almost 5 years, something like that, 4 years. I remember, and this, we have amazing leaders in our company, and some amazing people, but I remember sitting in that, and it was a small room. There wasn't very many of us. No. And there's some people that we look up to in other companies, and they're a husband and wife couple that work the business and stuff together. And we're like, we could be them, but for pottery. Yeah. So that's kind of always been our goal, is like, hey, let's
be leaders and big leaders in pottery and really be able to.
Let's break records. Let's set new records. Let's break our own records again.
And here you are.
And here you are doing it. Yeah. Yeah. So cool. So cool. Well, I'm so grateful. I really am for your time, for sharing everything. So the last question was just, how can people connect with you? And we'll link all of this, of course, in the notes, but just go ahead and share now, how do people find you? How do they connect with you, whether it's on social media or just, how do you want people to connect with you?
Well, mine's easy. So it's at Pet Bro Alex. So
Okay.
that's Instagram, TikTok. I'm on Facebook too, but if you find me on Instagram or TikTok, that's going to be one of the better places to. Instagram is going to be the best place to connect with me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on all of them as well. I'm connected through his stuff. We've got a podcast as well, Live Life Off Leash, so they can find us there as well.
Perfect. And then you also have that Facebook group, Live Life Off Leash as well. It's a great tool as well. So we'll make sure we link all of those. But again, just so grateful for your time. So proud of you, right? We're like the proud papa and mama up here.
That's right. So proud of you both.
Yeah, Papa Pottery.
Papa and Mama Pottery. We really are so grateful because your commitment is just inspiring. The team that you're, as you said, that you're duplicating down to your team is also inspiring. You've created great community within your team. You guys have a ton of fun. Team Live Life Off Leash. It's so appropriate, right? It's just a fun group, and we just admire all you're doing. So thank you for your time today. Any closing thoughts, Matt?
Keep up the great work. I'm excited to see what's next.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, in this business, the sky is the limit. It really is. There are no boundaries. And
Yeah.
so knowing the two of you and what you've done and what you're capable of, I'm just excited to see what's next
Yeah.
and how
Well,
far,
thank
and how far
you.
you'll go.
Yeah,
I mean, you
thanks.
guys have been a huge help along the way too. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you. I mean, Trisha, you've helped us work on our systems. We
Keep us accountable.
Keep us accountable.
That's my
It
favorite
It is part of
part.
our secret sauce too, is Trisha's accountability.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part, because that's really all I can do, right? As a mentor, like I can lead the way my own way and help you be accountable, but you guys have to do the work. You're the ones that put in the work. So you're nice to give us credit, but honestly, it's all you. We're just here as your good cheerleaders. You're proud parents. So that's good of you.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for joining us. And until next time, we'll catch you later. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.